A common question I see from Satisfactory players who maybe haven't played for hundreds of hours yet is if there are multiple maps in Satisfactory, or if all of the starting locations are all in the same map. And it's not a dumb question, considering the game presents 4 starting locations that all mention different difficulty levels and different environments. It seems like maybe these are different maps that support different difficulty levels and ranges of experience. Well, let's get the main question of this video out of the way right now. Satisfactory only has one single map, and all of the starting locations are different locations on the same large map. Now, if that's the only answer you wanted, you're welcome to leave the video now. But if you're curious more about how the map works, keep watching for the answers to some more questions. So, let's answer some more common questions about the world and the map in Satisfactory. How big is the Satisfactory map? With some players not knowing that it's just one map, the Satisfactory world must be pretty big, right? Well, it is. The playable landmass of the world is about 30 square kilometers or 11.5 square miles. This is pretty large, and it's no wonder you could play for hundreds of hours without ever seeing the other side of the map, especially with most resources being available in multiple locations around the world. For reference to a similarly sized game, Skyrim has a map size of 37.1 square kilometers, so a little bit larger. But most open world games are much larger than that, like in the hundreds of square kilometers. But there's a couple key differences between huge games like The Witcher 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Death Stranding, and especially Minecraft, and our favorite automation game. Those games have quest markers that direct you where to go for specific reasons. They have vehicles or mounts and roads designed for their use, and they often have fast travel points. Satisfactory doesn't really have those. You could argue that there are quest markers, since you can scan for specific resource nodes, and you'd be right to say there are vehicles and some natural roads. But compared to other open world games, Satisfactory can be incredibly complicated to navigate. When presented with a cliff face, it can take a long time to find your way around, and you might find that the path you discovered doesn't even lead to where you wanted to go. Exploration is a part of the game, and it can be a challenge, but that difficulty really makes the map feel even larger than it already is. Is the map procedurally generated? The Satisfactory map is actually completely handcrafted. Knowing how big the map is and how detailed it is, it's probably shocking that everything is hand sculpted and hand placed, especially considering how much effort went into the actual factory and automation aspects of the game. Longtime players of Satisfactory will know that biomes have changed over time, with the landscape as well as textures and models for foliage being updated. The map is truly a labor of love. Funny enough though, it started as procedurally generated at the very beginning of development, but it very quickly got turned into a handmade map with a focus on balancing where different nodes were placed. Will there be more maps? It's unclear if there will be more maps for Satisfactory in the future. Coffee Stain Studios has been hesitant to give a concrete answer, and when they do give one, it's usually no. And that's not surprising considering the current map isn't even done and the game isn't fully released yet. It took this long to make one map, so it would be a massive endeavor to create even more. As for players getting to make their own maps, there don't appear to be any plans to allow this, and it's unclear if it would be very easy to build this functionality into the game or not. So both of these things are technically possible, but you shouldn't expect either of them to ever happen. What makes the starting biomes different? The 4 starting biomes are all unique, not only in their visuals, but also in their qualities such as flatness, biomass amount, resource amount, and resource diversity. All 4 of them are fun in their own way and present their own challenges, and are all great places to start. The grass fields is the ideal location for newer players, as it's very flat, making it easy to build, and easy to explore. Resource variety and amount are the highest, but the area encourages newer players to branch out and explore the map naturally, without adding too much of a challenge right away. The rocky desert has a little bit of everything, and is a good starting point as well. You sacrifice a bit of flatness in order to get more resource diversity compared to the grassy fields. The northern forest gives players an extra bit of challenge when it comes to building, with its many height differences and dense trees. But as a trade-off, it has a ton of biomass for energy early on in the game, and it has a ton of different resources nearby. The Dune Desert is an ideal location for experienced players, as the terrain is very flat and there are an absolute ton of resources, although mostly basic resources like iron, copper, limestone, and a smattering of others. You'll need to branch out for more advanced factories, but the region allows you to build mega factories with relative ease. What is beyond the map? If you decide to go off of the landmass of the game, you can swim around in the water for a ways, but eventually you will hit the edge of the map. But unlike some games where there is an invisible wall, Satisfactory will just start to kill you. That's right, when you reach the invisible border of the map, the game will start dealing damage to the player's health at 5 HP per second, killing you in a matter of moments. There's no gameplay reason to go beyond the border, and the game won't like you doing it. Can you change between night and day? There is currently no way in the game to change the time of day, although it wouldn't surprise me to have time of day be an advanced game settings option in the future. Day lasts for 45 minutes and night lasts for 15 minutes, meaning a full day in-game is 60 minutes of real life. It's good that day is longer than night, but the nights can be scarily dark, especially with lumen on and no lights to guide you, so be aware of the time of day and plan accordingly. Okay, those are many common questions about the Satisfactory map that players often have. Hopefully this answered your questions or challenged some of your assumptions about this game world. Anything else you want to know about the map? Let me know in the comments below, and if you're brand new to Satisfactory, why don't you check out one of these guide videos that are popping up on your screen right now.